So, I was watching YouTube shorts, yeah? Flame me all you want in the comments. Anyways, I really like the idea of Reddit stories and just gameplay overall. And so, I like Reddit stories and I like 99 Nights, so let's combine the two. I'll play 99 Nights and read you Reddit stories about successful relationships. And the new update just dropped, the Thanksgiving update, so I'm gonna play that and let's get into it. My wife and I were married for 37 years and together for 40, lived through homelessness and injuries together until cancer took her away from me. So, we got married in spring and we were poor. Our honeymoon was a driving vacation to meet her relatives in other states. It was the second best time of my life and the birth of my son is my first. We had a Volkswagen Rabbit that would vapor lock if we drove it too far in the summers. So, we planned the trip in spring. Driving during this trip, I kept staring at my left hand where the ring was, and I could not believe this beautiful girl was my wife. It was a great start to our life. I worked many different jobs in construction for the first years that came. Then, the first recession hit. It hit us in 1986, and I could not find a job. Even fast food wasn't hiring. So, a friend found work in another state far away from the farm and thought they might hire me. So, we decided to go and packed up what we thought was important in 1975. A Ford F100 pickup with a camper shell and a bed in the back. And off we travelled for 3 days with our friends and made it to Arizona. After a couple of days of work, I quit because they wanted me to cut galvanized steel underground without ventilation. And the fumes are deadly. So now I had no job and we were thousands of miles away from home, and we had to decide if we had to leave and go home or stay and see if we can make it. And it was an easy decision. We didn't have any money because we were poor, so we couldn't really go anywhere, so we stayed. Luckily, I got a job as a concrete labeler for $4.60 an hour and my wife lived in the camper shell. Soon after I found my job, my wife found one too, cleaning the landscape of a trailer park. So we spent our summer in Arizona in a camper shell and camping. Now, here's some context on how we met. We met in the one place you shouldn't meet, in a bar. We were both young and we were drinking. I was out partying with my older brother and his friends, and we decided to go out and see what was happening in a small town close by. When we got to the bar, I walked onto the dance floor to see what was happening there, and all of a sudden there was a girl that just jumped out from the rest. I know this sounds corny, but it was like there was a spotlight behind her. Just bam, there she was. I turned to my brother's friend and told him that was the woman I was going to marry. Then she walked off the dancing floor holding hands with this guy she was dancing with. So yeah, I got some crap that night, but it didn't seem to matter as I was laser focused on her. I got her to dance with me and found out he was an on and off boyfriend. That was all I needed to hear. I started moving in on him, and then, I'm not proud of this now, but then we saw him and his friends at a lookout and we suggested he and his friends had to fly real quickly. So this joker disappeared. He didn't talk to her for about a year, and by the time he decided to come back into her life, it was too late. She was mine. I know some people are gonna freak out because I said she was mine. For you idiots, I mean she was mine in love. I had won her heart. Yeah, now shut up. Anyways, yes, I did tell her many years later what we did, and she gave me a big hug and kiss for what I did. The guy was a jerk and had her feeling like she was the problem. So, we dated and lived together for 3 years before we got married. The day of my wedding, my new father-in-law asked us when we planned to start a family, and we said, oh, not for a few years, and he looked at me and said, why the hell did you get married now? I was at the time living with his daughter in his mother's house on their farm. So I think my jaw hit the floor as he laughed and walked off. That was my father-in-law, lol. So that's it. Before I get on to the next story, I just want to let you know I stutter a lot, so it would mean a lot if you like and subscribe. This actually takes me really long to record and it would mean a lot. Thank you. This next one I'm about to read, I personally love. It's so cool. We met about 2 years ago, started out as friends, and I 100% thought, meh, he'll get bored of me and we'll drift apart after a month. But then we exchanged numbers, video calls, photos, and even personal information. The weeks passed, the months passed, and now the years are passing. We continued to grow, stayed together. We met after a year of first talking. But then, shortly after the visit, my dad passed. This is the hardest thing and the grief is rough, but he has been there. It honestly brings me to tears when I think about it. We are far apart, but yet he shows up. Calls, messages, and just listening to me in general. We aren't perfect, and I think the last few months have been rough on the both of us. I'm thick in grief and it's changed me. Obviously it's changed me. We have fought more and had more misunderstandings. I've been so anxious, waiting for another shoe to drop, waiting for the next bad thing to happen. So I found myself spiraling more, overthinking more, and just being extra clingy and sensitive. We talk it out and I tried to think of solutions on how to avoid missteps. It will never be perfect, but our mistake is text fighting, which just makes it worse, but we try to do better, and that's what counts, right? He's had chances to leave, yet he stays. We continue to keep trying, and we keep growing. He has been the support I needed during these terrible months. I'm so grateful for him. I don't have many friends, and it seems people get weirded out about death. But he has been my rock, and my dad would have been proud that I found someone like him. I wish they could have met, and that's it. Well, did anything spawn in your eyes, guys? Well, it did for me. So if I do post Reddit stories again, would you guys like me to change anything? If you do, just leave it in the comments. I'll like every comment, I swear. I try to at least. Here's the next one for you guys. I hope you enjoy. Last year, my husband and I almost called it quits after 19 years of marriage. He lost his job, I was overworked trying to keep us afloat, and we were fighting about everything, from bills to who left the dishes in the sink. One night after a petty argument, I walked out and ended up on an old bridge we used to visit when we were dating. I was honestly thinking about how a marriage could be done. Then he showed up, out of breath, worried, and looking more vulnerable than ever. We finally talked, really talked, about how scared we both were, and we made a plan, together. And instead of blaming each other, we'll work it out together. Slowly but surely, we made our way back. A year later, we ended up on the same bridge, tying new wishes. And we realized we both written the same thing, keep choosing each other. And honestly, we're happier now than we've ever been in years. And boom, that's it. Well, that was short and emotional. Hope you enjoyed that one. Anyways, I have a genuine question though. How do you get corn in 99 nights? It's not in the video yet, but I needed corn to make a recipe. And I just don't know how to get corn. So, if you know, please tell me. And let's move on to the next one. I never believed in love at first sight until I met her. It wasn't anything dramatic, just a chance encounter at a local coffee shop. When she accidentally spilled her drink on me, we laughed it off, and before I knew it, we were talking for hours about everything and nothing. She had this way of making the world feel lighter. Ah, that's so cute. Anyways, like her presence alone could turn an ordinary day into something extraordinary. Over time, we built a relationship on trust, shared dreams, and endless stream of laughter. It wasn't always perfect, but we learned to navigate life together, supporting each other through the highs and lows. What made our love so successful wasn't the grand gestures or the fairy tale moments. It was the little things, showing up when it mattered, listening without judgment, and choosing each other every single day. We celebrated others' victories and held hands through the struggles, never letting go. And love, I've realized it isn't about finding the right person, it's about willing to grow and build something beautiful together. With her, I found more than a partner. I found a best friend, a teammate, and a reason to believe in love. When nurtured, it is the most extraordinary thing in the world. Me bomba! Anyways, I was really lucky to find this one actually. It was on a reply to a forum for sad moments. Yeah, I'm still questioning why. But anyways, let's do another one. We met in August 1989 at a fraternity party. I was a freshman and he was a sophomore. We talked and joked around for a bit. Then my friends and I left. A few days later, we ran into each other on campus and he asked me out to get frozen yogurt. Seems safe. We had a great time and have been together ever since. We married in 1993, had our first child in 1998, and our second in 2001. I still think he is handsome and love him as much as I did in 1989. We are best friends, lovers, supporters, etc. We share the same values, sense of humor, taste in movies, music, and etc. The interests we don't share, we support and encourage. Sure, we argue, but it's typically about the stupid stuff like the temperature on the thermostat. We avoid the sketchy stuff. We know each other's passwords, we share all our accounts, and we have access to others' phones, iPads, computers, and we have never felt to check because we trust each other. And we never socially text someone of the opposite sex without including each other and their spouse. We don't spend time alone socially with anyone from the opposite sex. We don't follow our exes on social media. And we enjoy the company of other couples like us. We don't go to bed angry, but we have had our share of late nights. We laugh at ourselves and each other. We don't speak negatively or complain about each other to others unless it's a funny story. We never use the word divorce when we argue. We try to be respectful of each other. We choose each other and our relationship. We love spending our time together, even if it's running boring errands. We eat dinner and spend time together every night. We are honest, we listen and tell each other everything. When I count my blessings in the morning, gotta start positive, you know. He is always the first. It's been a wonderful ride, and I'll always know I'll have him by my side. Anyways, that's all the stories I have for you today. If you made it this far, please like and subscribe. It would mean a lot. It would give me like fulfillment that I've actually made a long form video. I know it isn't like a proper long form video, but it would mean a lot. So please subscribe. And shoo, go away. Shoo, go away.